Happening now, how this season's weather roller coaster is impacting mental health and physical health. Plus, a look at the latest investment in local arts in Jamestown. And a Chautauqua County football team, they're eyeing a big comeback this year. Jackson Hickey with why the training is so much more than just winning on the football field.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, a wanted Jamestown man is behind bars after he was arrested by police over the weekend. Officers with Jamestown police say Curtis Schneider provided them with a false name and date of birth to avoid arrest during a warrant check at an East Side address on Saturday. The 50-year-old was wanted by parole personnel in Pennsylvania. Schneider was charged with criminal impersonation and as a fugitive from justice. He's currently being held at Chautauqua County's jail. Over $105,000 in grants and loans will make several Jamestown area events possible this summer. Last week, the Jamestown Local Development Corporation heard from various groups and organizations who petitioned for funding allocated to spur economic activity. The top allotment of nearly $50,000 was awarded to the Whirlybird Music Festival. As organizer Mickey Gertz explains, the Summertime Music Festival hopes to help downtown businesses and restaurants. In addition to the three-day main event, an early bird concert will also be planned to hype ahead of time.
It would be 4 separate days. Those 4 days would have their own themes. They would take place like Whirlybird at different venues across the town, and this event would be completely free. No cover whatsoever. We really just want to get the people out. We want them to experience Jamestown.
The Whirlybird Music and Arts Festival is scheduled for July 20th, 21st, and 22nd. That's at the Winter Garden Plaza here in downtown Jamestown. Well, we've been on a weather roller coaster of sorts over this past week, and we wanted to know how these dramatic swings may have an impact on physical and mental health. WNY News Now's Elspeth Meisner takes a closer look.
I think anytime you see the sun, you're going to experience a lift in your mood, especially when you're not used to it. It'll give you a boost of just positive mood. It'll give you more energy. Typically, you'll sleep less. It'll make changes to your appetite that can all be considered positive.
According to Greg Parker, a licensed counselor and psychotherapist, a few days of warmth and vitamin D affects a person's mental health in a typically cold and gray time.
However, the up and down can cause kind of a vacillation in your mood as well. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're going to have major alterations in your mood, but you'll definitely notice the difference in terms of not only temperature, but mostly sunlight and the presence of just the ability to do things outdoors.
While going from cold weather to warm weather could have a positive effect on somebody's mental health, it could have the opposite effect on somebody's physical health.
A change in barometric pressure, and that can definitely cause problems with the joints, and with for people who get migraines, can cause some problems there.
In addition to going from cold to warm and back to cold again, dry air and dust mites can also lead to an uptick in allergies, according to Dr. Morris.
The fact that we're going back inside again and then turning the heat on, turning the heat off, you're going to get a lot of the allergy type symptoms, which mostly affect the sinuses. And then back outside again, we're getting right to the season where possibly we can start to get pollen, and so you get a different type of allergy there.
But both health professionals agree a burst of sunshine provides hope for warmer days ahead. Elspeth Meisner, WNY News Now.
Well, community members, they braved the frigid cold Saturday as the Polar Plunge returned to the Village of Mayville's Winter Festival. Now, dozens of people you see there, both in teams and individually, took on the challenge of wading into the icy waters of Chautauqua Lake, with proceeds from the event benefiting the St. Susan Center in Jamestown. Now, the cold wind didn't deter spectators from that either, which was held as part of the President's Day Winter Festival at Lakeside Park in the village of Mayville. The St. Susan Center's mission is to build up the community and help feed the hungry in Chautauqua County by offering free meals and fellowship to those in need. The organization has carried out their goal for over 30 years. The total amount of money pledges raised as a result of the polar plunge will be announced later in the week. Certainly looks way too cold, even Superman getting in on the festivities there, Andrew. I gotta give it to those people because you gotta have some heart to be able to jump into freezing cold Chautauqua Lake. And if the temperature was anything like it was for the ice castles lighting on Friday night, it had to be freezing.
It looks like they had fun out there, but I don't think I could get into freezing cold weather.
Me either.
I don't like the cold air as it is. Right now, live look over Olean. We got some sunshine trying to peek through the clouds out there in Olean. First defense Doppler radar shows that a cold front is in the process of moving through the area, but this cold front does not have much moisture with it. Just a couple isolated showers out there. Most of the day today will be ended up being dry with some limited sunshine. The high yesterday was 51 degrees. The low was 29. The records for today, 65 record high, set back in 1930, record low, negative 23. So for the rest of the afternoon out there, again, partly mostly cloudy skies, maybe an isolated rain or snow shower possible. Temperatures today will range from the upper 30s to lower 40s across the region. Now we got a big winter storm on the way that could bring some snow, some freezing rain, some rain. I'll let you know what we're going to get coming up in the full forecast.
Mother Nature at it once again, Andrew, just when we think that spring's here. Well, it is February. Thank you. As we continue, we're highlighting the push here in New York to bring jobs back to the United States, specifically in our upstate community. And later, a look at the police recruitment push now underway in Chautauqua County. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than Dwyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on Dwyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. Dwyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Congressman Nick Langworthy has launched a push to bring more jobs back to our region, specifically targeting positions that have been outsourced to other countries like China. As WENY's Max Coven reports, the congressman recently held a tour of a New York State manufacturing facility.
Republican Nick Langworthy came home to find a way to bring jobs back to America. Originally a Jamestown native, he wants to show the Southern tier all the possible opportunities right here at home.
Well, I'm very proud to tour the facilities here for Hardinge. They came to visit me in Washington, D.C. and talked to me about all of the great work that they're doing here. Growing manufacturing base, here in Elmira and in the Southern Tier is so important for us to transform this economy, get us back on track.
Congressman Nick Langworthy toured Hardinge in Elmira today and said it's a goal of his to prepare the next generation of employees for manufacturers across the Southern Tier.
The story of Hardinge is the repatriation of jobs and bringing the jobs from Taiwan here to the Southern Tier.
So we started the process just before COVID in 2019. So overall, we've brought about 50 jobs already over. As we continue to ramp up our production, we will continue to add more jobs. Here locally, we have over 350 jobs in this building.
The machine cutting tools manufactured by Hardinge employees go on to support other industries, from aerospace to medical and construction.
There is no ceiling. We need to just get to work to get competitive again. For the Southern Tier, for far too long, has been a place where we've said goodbye to too many companies.
Langworthy says the federal government can do more to support companies like Hardinge and continue to grow jobs here at home.
So I'm looking for federal opportunities to assist in growing our manufacturing base here, and that's creating more engineers and in keeping and having opportunities for them to stay and work where they get their education.
The goal: bring jobs back to America and take advantage of all the systems we do have a strong grip on, like education. Reporting from the Hardinge plant, Max Coven, WNY News.
The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Academy at Jamestown Community College is continuing to accept new applications. All candidates must meet New York State's requirements as they pertain to the certification of police officers. Since 1978, the Academy has offered programs in partnership with JCC for those interested in careers in law enforcement. Graduates of the program can even earn college credits along with a certificate of completion from New York State's police training course. Candidates must be residents of Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, or Allegheny counties to attend the academy. Applications are currently being accepted until Friday, April 14th. For more information on how you can apply, you can visit the program's website at sunyjcc.edu. Well, a push to bring in out-of-state snowmobilers is underway here in New York. The first weekend in March, registration requirements will be waived for snowmobiling enthusiasts looking to explore our region. In total, New York State has over 10,000 miles of snowmobile trails for locals and visitors alike to traverse. Out-of-state and Canadian participants may only operate snowmobiles that are currently registered in their home municipality. Insurance is also required. State officials stress that promoting snowmobiling reinforces the importance of tourism to the state and local economies. Well, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, it's a tricky business right now. The National Association of Realtors says overall home prices are still inching up. Yet in some individual markets, there are signs that single-family home prices are down a bit from 1 year ago. Erie News Now's Marissa Thomas spoke with realtors about how it's playing out here in our region.
Since the pandemic, the real estate market has changed drastically. With the Federal Reserve's recent increase on interest rates, realtor Carrie McAdams explains that homebuyers are feeling the effects.
Everyone, say last year, midsummer you were pre-approved for $250,000. You might only be comfortable spending, $175 now, just with the interest rates that have gone. I've seen 6.5 up to 7 now, and I think they might even be a little higher here last Friday.
Along with increased interest rates, the real estate market is also seeing low inventory, which means what is on the market doesn't stay there very long.
So there's not a lot out there, and when one comes on the market, if it's move-in ready and updated and the big things are taken care of, it usually sells pretty quickly.
McAdams says that it's a great time to sell. Since the houses for sale are limited, it's a more competitive market. Yet, realtor Patricia Ziegler says selling isn't as simple as it seems.
Usually they have to buy a house first or find a house to put a contract on and then go contingent on the sale of their home. So if there's not much on the market for them to buy, then they're not going to be able to list their house yet. So then now we're back to very limited inventory.
And with the new season around the corner, the hope is that inventory will improve.
I'm a little nervous, but I think that hopefully in the spring things will turn around and we'll start to get more, people are relocating, so maybe that'll help us get a little more houses on the market. And brushes and stuff. And then this I love for your large utensils and your other utensils.
Marissa Thomas, Erie News Now.
Coming up next, a look at some national news headlines where we check in with an Ohio community still dealing with a major train derailment and the possible environmental impacts. And later, the story behind a Chautauqua County football team eyeing a big comeback this year. But first, Andrew has a full look at our weather forecast and a winter storm that's on the horizon.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights. Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger. This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
There are two silver linings here. One, that no injuries were reported, and two, they were able to contain the fire from spreading further.
Western New York has a new congressional member representing them.
One of the things that made Betty White so unique was the fact that she connected generations of fans throughout the decades. Take a look at the display here.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we're under mostly cloudy skies. 40 degrees is the current temperature at Jamestown Airport with a west wind of 12 miles per hour, and it feels like 33 degrees out there with a wind chill. Well, we're finally approaching 6 p.m. sunsets. Today, the sun will set at 5:55 p.m., and by the time we get to Friday and the end of the week, we'll be approaching 6 o'clock sunsets. I don't know about you, but I like more daylight. So daylight will continue to gain daylight as we go through the rest of the winter into the spring up until the summer solstice. Other things that are changing are the average high temperatures in Jamestown. Today the average high is 36 degrees. By this time next month on the first day of spring, the average high is 45. April 20th, the average high is 59 degrees, and by May 20th, the average high is 70 degrees. So more daylight's on the way and warmer temperatures are on the way. Here's what's happening across the Northeast right now. Low pressure system with a weak cold front moving through the area, but there's not much moisture associated with this cold front, so just a couple of isolated showers through the rest of the afternoon. Let's time out future scan over the next 48 hours, which shows cloudy skies through the rest of the afternoon, some sunshine possible. Dry weather continues into the night. Similar today, tomorrow, another cold front is going to move through the region, but this one will have a little more moisture to it, so more in the way of rain and snow showers through the afternoon tomorrow. And then we'll get another period of dry weather as we head into tomorrow night and into early Wednesday, and then another more impactful system will impact the region, move through Wednesday afternoon, through Wednesday night, and into Thursday. For that, we're going to have to go to a longer range model. This is the GFS American model, which shows heavy snow across northern portions of the region, and then a mix of wintry mix across west New York, and then the southern tier of northwestern Pennsylvania, more looking at a rain situation. So it's all going to depend on how warm it is or how cold it is and the exact track of the system, whether we see snow, wintry mix of freezing rain and sleet, or rain across the southern tier. Now, models are still in disagreement about the exact track of the system, but we'll be keeping an eye on this over the next few days. And now the next 7 days from Ultimate Ultimate Satellite Solutions. Tomorrow we should be near 40 with a few rain and snow showers. Wednesday, a dry start, and then that wintry mix of that system moves through. Thursday, across the southern tier, should be fairly warm with temperatures in the lower 50s and mainly rain, cooler as farther north you go. And then it really cools off by the time we get into Friday. Snow showers with temperatures in the lower 20s. And just like last weekend, the cold air does not last long because we're back into the 30s by Saturday and lower 40s by Sunday.
Yeah, so calling it a roller coaster of weather, it definitely isn't an understatement. It's so crazy.
And the weather is doing the same thing. Like it seems like every past few weeks, Thursday it's warm, Friday it's cold, and then the weekend it warms back up again.
Hey, you know, I guess we don't have to worry about the cold being socked in for too long, but that up and down in temperature definitely, I know, has impacted a lot of people in terms of getting sick too from the weather there. Andrew, thank you very much. Well, now let's get some headlines from across the nation. And U.S. President Joe Biden made a surprise visit to Kyiv on Monday. This is the first visit to Ukraine since Russia invaded almost a year ago. Biden was greeted at the entrance of the presidential palace by Vladimir Zelensky and his wife. In joint remarks, Biden announced $500 million in assistance. It would include military equipment like artillery, ammunition, javelins, and howitzers. Biden also spoke about the resiliency of the Ukrainian people.
1 year later, Kyiv stands, and Ukraine stands. Democracy stands. The Americans stand with you, and the world stands with you. We know that there'll be very difficult days and weeks and years ahead. But Russia's aim was to wipe Ukraine off the map. Putin's war of conquest is failing. Russia's military has lost half its territory it once occupied.
Now, this marks a key point in the war. Russia is preparing for a spring offensive while Ukraine is hoping to retake territory. Well, national reaction continues following the news that former U.S. President Jimmy Carter has begun receiving hospice care at his home. The former president turned 98 years old last year and is the oldest living president. Isabel Rosales is in Plains, Georgia, with more.
Lord, we'd be amiss this morning if we did not lift President Carter to you.
Sunday morning in Plains, Georgia, it was packed for Sunday school at a service at Maranatha Baptist Church. This is where former President Jimmy Carter taught his traditional Sunday school in his hometown for years, until his health forced him to give it up in 2020. On Saturday, the news came that the 98-year-old former president has decided to spend his remaining time at home with his family and to receive hospice care instead of additional medical intervention, according to the Carter Center. In 2015, former President Carter announced he had survived brain and liver cancer. In 2019, he had surgery for a broken hip and received 14 stitches after hitting his head. Then he was treated for a minor pelvic fracture before undergoing surgery to relieve pressure on his brain. I love you! In 2022, the Carters were seen out enjoying the 25th annual Peanut Festival Parade in Plains. They were seen riding in a red 1946 Ford convertible while waving at the crowd. Meanwhile, wishes for comfort and peace are pouring in on social media for the former president. Carter's grandson and former Georgia State Senator Jason Carter posted this tweet, saying in part he visited his grandparents and they are at peace.
When I was sick, he sat with me for an hour. Whether you believe in his political persuasions or whatever you think, you know for a fact, being here, that they're genuine people that care.
In Plains, Georgia, I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Well, just over 2 weeks have passed since a Norfolk Southern train derailed and dumped toxic materials near East Palestine, Ohio, but the aftermath lingers on. On Sunday, the Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg sent a letter to Norfolk Southern CEO demanding accountability, adding that the people of East Palestine cannot be forgotten, nor can their pain be simply considered the cost of doing business. Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw also says that air and municipal water tests have come back clean, but some people should still drink bottled water. Some residents say they're suffering from ailments like headaches and sore throats since that crash. Ohio's Senator Shannon Brown says that he understands while people in the affected area are skeptical, and concerned. The Ohio Department of Health, they're opening a clinic on Tuesday for those impacted by the train derailment, that according to a statement released by the agency. Well, coming up next, a high school football team here in Chautauqua County, they're eyeing a big comeback this year, both on and off the field.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
High school football players in northern Chautauqua County, they are preparing for the next season early and getting help from some big-name athletes in the region. Jackson Hickey joins us live in studio with more from a recent training camp that, Jackson, I hear aims to better players in more than just athletic ability.
Justin, players from the Dunkirk Marauders in grades 8 through 12 began training at the school field on Sunday. This comes in the wake of a few rough years for the program. The practice drills, led by Dunkirk native Joshua Cosme, are the first of their kind in the community, coming alongside several new opportunities for the students.
This program was started to promote the recruiting process for kids to get onto college and play college ball. And there was no recruiting department here in Dunkirk, and so we decided to bring that in and share that with the kids. Also, we've never had an off-season program here in Dunkirk or a weightlifting program. So we introduced that, and we're up to about 35 kids a day in the weight room consistently.
The Division B2 varsity football team has failed to record a winning season in the past 4 years, with this last playoff run coming in 2018. Area coaches are working with students this year in the hopes of bringing the team back among the most elite schools in its class. The Dunkirk School District recently hired a new head coach for the team, a move which has delivered new motivation to the players.
It's really been Dunkirk versus Dunkirk the last couple of years, so we really just trying to change it around, new generation, new timing, one team, one goal. Just bring everybody together, just bring Dunkirk back together like how it was in them good old days.
The Marauders were joined by several college-level athletes, including 2 players from the NCAA's Division I UB Bowls. The team's starting quarterback Cole Snyder, himself a native of Chautauqua County, was there training the next generation of signal callers, which he says is his way of supporting the community that helped him through his own journey.
I just thought it would be a great opportunity for me to give back. God has blessed me a lot in my life, and whatever I can do to give back to the community and help for the place that raised me and give me this opportunity, I love to do it.
And Justin, organizers tell me they hope to bring in more talent as they continue to work with these students until the next fall season. For more on that program, you can visit the Dunkirk Football Club's Twitter page. I have a link to that in my story at WNYNewsNow.com. So certainly a great opportunity for some of these kids who haven't had something like this in their community ever.
No, and you think about the loss for this team, where if they aren't doing well as a team and performing in wins, maybe they don't get that Ohio State scout who's going to come here and watch them. So to be able to network, regardless of what a score might be, you could still be a good player even on a team that's not doing that well.
Exactly, and he mentioned that they are trying to get that recruiting program in here. They haven't had that opportunity in Dunkirk before, whereas other schools in the region, they have these amazing programs for that. So certainly a great opportunity for these students.
And a great story to share with us as we kick off a new week. Jackson, thank you very much. That is going to do it for our show today. We'll leave you with this live look over Lakewood. The news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and in our free mobile app. You can download it in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Have a great day.